Swaha. Om Muni Muni Maha Munaye 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 Swaha. Let us make 3 prostrations to the triple jewels together. Once again, let us recollect the kindness of the triple jewels, and with a full gratitude in heart, let us place our palms together to request Geshe to give teaching according to the well wishes and capacities of the students. Geshe, kindly give us the teaching.
I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje Juda Zoge Chonam Loi Chanchu Pardo Tane Gyalsu Che Tage Jinso Kebe Sonamgi Dola Benjire Sanje Jubara Isho Sanje Juda Zoge Chonam Loi Chanchu Pardo Tage Jinso Kebe Sonamgi Dola Benjire Sanje Jubara Sho Sanje Juda Soge Chonamla Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyapso Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamge Dola Benjire Sanje Jubara Sho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Te Shandata Hyavatat Te Sham Chayo Niroda Evam Bhati Mahashramana Yesvaha Om Ye Dharma prabhava etum te sham dathagato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha om yedharama hetu prabhavam hetum te sham dathagato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodham evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay. We talk about the Buddha nature. That is, each one of us has the potential, full potential. And what is that? Just imagine that all the mental defilements are removed. And for example, let's say, let me give an example of, say, sometimes say when we do the packaging, or the packaging, let's say the wool and the cottons. So say, imagine that you are working in a cotton factory, and the cotton to transport from one place to another place, cotton is just like 100 kg. It's going to be huge. It will occupy huge space. So what do? You try to squeeze them. Anybody who has some idea of that? Vacuum pack, the huge one. Vacuum pack it. Yes, just squeeze everything and then tie it with the metallic string. What do you call it? Strap. Metal strap. And then I learned that was many years ago when I was in my 20s. I learned that when you have to open this, what should you do? The person should be very careful because the strap is very forceful, and you cut it, and the strap can actually cut your body. You should be so careful because the pressure is so much that the moment you remove the strap, the cotton inside the squeeze will display its natural state. What's the natural state? So this is how our mind behaves. When the strap, like the affective obscurations, strap like the cognitive obscurations, when they are cut, then the mind explodes like the cotton, just blows up, and then it meets with every atom of the universe. To cognize every atom of the universe, there's no strap anymore. So the ease. So when the strap is there, remove the strap, you feel the ease, and ease is infinite. This is known as infinite ease of Buddhahood. And then the next is that where the strap is gone, but the trace of the strap is there. The trace, that is cognitive obscurations. So the strong strap is gone. So the mental defilements, when the gross one is removed, you see that nothing can actively affect you, but this subtle effect is still there on you. So that is where so no one can affect you, which means that you will be fearless. Nothing can create fear in you. You become fearless. You feel the fearlessness. That is because when you remove one part of the mental defilements, then the mind behaves in such a way that you become fearless. In technical sense, it's known as nirvana or liberation. And still we have some problem there, cognitive obscuration there. So the cognitive obscuration, the cognitive obscuration there, and that stops you from cognizing all phenomena simultaneously, and that stops you from, for example, let's say that the wall is very clean, and you pass a light through a glass, and glass is not too clear. Wall is very clean, extremely spick and span clean, white wall, and if the light falls on it, it's glowing light, the glowing white. But in between, if there's the glass which is a little murky, then the light passes through this, the wall looks dirty. You getting it? But the light passes through, you can see the wall, but it's not still the true nature of the wall. The true nature of the wall is so clean, but now where you are seeing a little bit of murkiness. It's not because of the wall, it's because of what comes from the glass. So likewise, you are seeing the wall full, but still the clarity is missing. Likewise, that that with the afflictive options gone, that you become fearless. You are not affected by any other things. You become totally fearless, but still that how you penetrate through every atom in the universe, that doesn't happen. So there's some other obstacle still there. What is that? That is cognitive obscurations. Now to make it more technical, with respect to seeing things as objectively real. So the real problem is in the dream. In the dream, you wake up, in the dream, you see things as objectively real. You see things as not dream, real. So that's a problem. And you wake up. So some people, they go through nightmare in the night, then you wake up, and still the remnants of that is there. You agree? Remnants are still there. In some cases, remnants are there. So in the dream, you are really affected. But in the dream, you wake up, you see, it's not really the earthquake. I'm safe. Still, you feel the remnants. So likewise, they say the fear is gone. Still, the remnants there in the form of your mind, not being able to expand, to feel the total ease. 100% ease is not coming. So with this in mind, now technically speaking, this is very important. Technically speaking, we see that the dream, seeing the dream as real. Real meaning from the object is real, not from the mind. This is what you see when you're in the dream. You wake up to discover that the dream was just coming from my mind. So seeing the dream as real, that is the self-grasping ignorance, the error with respect to the object of apprehension of objective reality. Error with respect to objective apprehension of things as objectively real. That falls under the category of the afflictive obscurations, where the domain of your apprehension is objective existence, where you view things objectively real, that falls in the domain of the afflictive obscurations. Now, whereas you may not apprehend things objectively real, but things appear as objectively real, that falls in the category of cognitive obscurations. Let me repeat it, this is very important. So a mind, with respect to its interaction with the object, for example, like say that you interact with this object, and you say, this flower is so nice. This flower is so nice. When you see the flower is nice, they say some experience happening in your subject, in your mind. So what triggered the experiential turbulence or stir in your mind is because the interaction with the object. You agree? Because the interaction with the object. So this interaction, this is how all our sufferings are because of our mind, just not staying with itself, but interacting with the world. It interacts with the world with the erroneous mind. Erroneous mind, it interacts with the world, then it erupts into all forms of problems. So this error, so ignorance means erroneous. Ignorance is at the root of all the miseries. So this error can happen on two different levels. Because when you interact with the flower, there are two ways of there are two things happening. That the act of appearance is happening, act of apprehension is happening. What are the two things happening? Act of appearance is happening and act of apprehension is happening. There are two things happening. So we see that act of appearance, the object appears to the mind, not that the mind appears to the object. Object appears to the mind. So this act of appearance is related to the object. And the mind apprehends the flower. The flower does not apprehend the mind. So act of apprehension is the activity related to the mind, subject. So this interaction between subject and object, there are two things happening. One is appearance and one is apprehension. So appearance is related to the object and the apprehension is related to the subject. So with these two activities can go wrong. It's known as erroneous. So either there can be error in the appearance or there can be error in the apprehension. So all the mental states, which we call as those class of mental states, which are responsible in attracting miseries, the tears, manifest tears, miseries. These fall under category technically known as the afflictive obscurations, and more technically I would say that these all take the form of error in apprehension. Error in apprehension. So you just observe a person, a negative person is there, you observe the person, the negative, you don't comment on this, just keep observing it. Oh, it's negative. So you're not actively apprehending. You're not actively going there. It's just observing. Perception is taking place, appearance is taking place, but apprehension is not actively, subject is not actively going there, not poking your nose in the other person's business. So you're just observing. You getting it? So which is more complicated? Just keep observing, the person does whatever, and you just keep observing, versus the person can be a little negative, and you are this, you are thief, you are this, you are stupid, and so forth, which is more complicated, which can end up in two fights. The moment you poke your nose. So that's active apprehension. Active apprehension, that is very gross, and just observation. Something is going wrong, the observation. This is subtler. You're getting it? So active involvement, that is apprehension. Inactive interaction, this is appearance. So error can happen on two levels. The error happening on the apprehension level, where it is subjectively very active, that falls under afflictive obscurations. And outcome is the manifest miseries in samsara. Manifest miseries in samsara. So samsara is attracted by the error in the apprehension of the object. Particularly the error in the apprehension of the object as intrinsically real, objectively real. Now, on the other hand, the cognitive obscuration is just a passive error happening. You don't actively apprehend the object, but appearance, there's an error happening on the appearance. Things continue to appear as objectively real. Things continue to appear as objectively real. So error in the appearance with respect to the intrinsic reality, that falls under, that is the one which which does not allow our mind to flow freely. Whereas things affecting you and your mind not flowing freely, these two are different. Things affecting you falls under afflictive obscurations, and your mind not flowing freely, that is, falls under cognitive obscurations. That is because of the error in the appearance. Error in the appearance as objectively real. So let me just summarize what I'm saying. Is that our mind, all the experiences of nirvana or Buddhahood, samsara, pain, very complicated relationships, very complicated relationships with the environment, with the people, with the colleagues, or family, all very good relationships with the people, so compassionate. So all these things, they are responsible for giving us different experiences in us, nirvana, Buddhahood, samsara, in samsara, hell realm, hungerless realm, so forth, all these experiences are given rise to by your thinking. So this thinking, we see that this thinking is this thinking, we see that it is thinking of something, thinking of the object. So there's an interaction between the subject, your mind, as the thinker, and the object that you think about. There's interaction happening. So this interaction involves two things, two activities. What are they? Appearance and apprehension. It's all the play of these two. Buddha, again appearance, apprehension, samsara, samsaric beings, appearance and the apprehension, arhats, appearance and apprehension, Arya beings, appearance and apprehension. It's all determining based on what kind of appearance and the apprehension is taking place within your mind. That determines you are a samsaric being, ordinary being, or arhat, or Arya, or Buddha. This all determine that state. So this interaction, it has two things. One is appearance and apprehension. So when these two things go wrong, when these two things go wrong, particularly in the context of seeing things objective real, or erroneous apprehension of objective reality, that drags us into manifest the samsaric misery, samsaric problems. Whereas the error in the appearance, not the apprehension, error in the appearance with respect to the intrinsic reality, that stops us from the infinite ease. The ease is the spread of the mind with total ease that is stopped by this erroneous, the appearance of the intrinsic reality. So with this, if you remove these two are like the straps to bind this cotton. If you remove this, then the cotton will behave in its true nature. What's the true nature of the mind? What's it? The cotton? Cut the strap, what happens? It just blows up. Likewise, our mind, when the errors are removed, the error in apprehension and appearance, when these are removed first, the error in the apprehension of object reality, when that is removed, then the external things stop to affect you. When things don't affect you, then you become fearless. Why fear? Can you give an example of fear, anyone? What's a fear? Then let's see what it's like. Yes, the girl there. What's a fear? So active, not giving chance to others. Afraid due to why? Due to what reason? Yes. Yes. Speak.
Due to fear gives us negative emotions, like he's calling me stupid.
He's calling me stupid. I'm not stupid, right? He's calling me stupid. So that person stupid, and I don't want anybody to call me stupid. I'm smart. You getting it? So therefore he may call me stupid. So he may affect me. That's a fear. He may affect me. That's a fear. Thank you, Dhanjala.
And when some kids bully...
Now she is from a past life. She's a professor. She keeps lecturing. No, she'll never stop. Yes.
Like when...
Let's see how much she'll go. She keeps going.
That's fear too. Like we got hurt, we cry, and we're scared of them.
Okay, done.
Like for the example, like a mother is hitting her child because the child is not reading for the exam, and she always beats, and the child's fear.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Inshallah. I'll take birth to become your student. Then I'll keep listening to you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Denshyala, thank you. So look, somebody says, you stupid, and then, so next time you meet him, he may again tell me, stupid. You're stupid. So you're scared. Why? This person has a tendency to affect me. So all these, you being affected by others, that is because of the erroneous apprehension of objective reality. When that is removed, all these things affecting you stops. When that stops, the fear dissolves. You become fearless. That is nirvana. Technical sense is known as nirvana. It is a very precious concept. So next is that, so when the first error is cut, the erroneous apprehension of object reality, when that is stopped, you become fearless. But still your mind may not spread with the, say, infinitely, because there is something blocking you. Subtle stains are blocking you, which means that it's not perfect ease. So stop that appearance. What is that stain which is blocking you from total ease? Erroneous appearance of objective reality. We cut it, then the mind will demonstrate its true nature. True nature. For example, there's a stone tied with the strap, metallic strap, versus a cotton bound by a metal strap. Stone, you cut the strap and the stone will expand? It will not expand. This is not its nature. But the cotton, cut the strap, it will just spread. It will spread. So likewise, our mind, when these two errors are removed, then the mind will display its true nature. One, external things will stop affecting you. You become fearless. Number two, your mind will spread to every atom of the universe. Where my mind comes in contact with you, there's a cognitive element in my mind. I know you. My mind comes in contact with every atom of the universe. I know every atom of the universe. My mind comes in contact with every mind of sentient beings. I know every mind of sentient beings. You become omniscient. Okay, so this is true nature, so beautiful. So if this is the, wow, this is amazing, then this is ease. What is the ease like? How many of you have felt this profound ease? Anyone? Anyone? Profound ease. Okay, the Anna. A little bit, yes. Quick, Anna, raise your hand.
Just a little.
Yeah. Any experience, specific experience?
Like the sun.
Like the sun.
Like a warmth, like a spreading, like a...
Exactly. So one example, how many of you had the experience of going to a boarding school and seniors bullying you, others bullying you, and then you, when the holiday, you break, you come home and every cell relaxes. To see the mother, just you feel the 100% ease. Raise your hand, how many had that experience? Being bullied in school? Every time you have to live in fear. Oh, this boy may do like this girl may do like this. There's a fear there. The moment the holiday, go home, meet your mom, to see the mom, just every cell relaxes, all the berry dissolves. Okay, so these experiences, if you have, this is what you have to relate it or extrapolate it to the freedom from the cognitive obscurations. When the erroneous appearance of objective reality stops, this is what you're going to feel. Just what you have shared, that is multiplied by infinity. So for example, just say you join a company, you join a new office, and in the office you're informed that there are 100 people, 100 staff. You go there, you discover nobody, you don't know anybody. So you have an apprehension that people may judge on me. You getting it? So you meet anybody, you should be very formal, careful. Then from there you are moved to the next office. Again, you have the same fear. Suddenly you see somebody who's so familiar from the retreat, who did the same retreat. Oh, I know you, right? A little ease comes. One ease comes. And in the next company, there are 10 people from the same retreat. 10 ease multiplied by 10. And then you see that all the 100 people, they are the rigid people. So 100 eases, ease multiplied by 100. Then the ease multiplied by infinite beings. Infinite ease. This is beautiful, it's amazing. So this ease, we have to cut the appearance, erroneous appearance of the objective reality, one. And the practice should be done by universal practice of universal compassion. It's not that, oh, I just focus on eradicating. This is not possible. Without the practice of compassion, just to cut the cognitive obscurations by emptiness, will not do that. So the same assistance must be there. Some practice should be done with the universal practice of universal compassion. That universal compassion must be practiced. With this, then the wisdom. You add to the wisdom of emptiness to cut the erroneous appearance. First you have to cut the erroneous apprehension. Then cut the erroneous appearance with the exercise of, parallel to that, exercise the emptiness of the exercise of the universal compassion together, then effectively cut the erroneous appearance. Okay, now going back to the stress. After talking about how to release the stress, going back to the stress. Okay, page 190. The second last paragraph. So we left here yesterday. Okay, so before I go, just keep reading it, and then you feel you just get lost. Instead of that, I'll give you a quick the background of what we're going to read. So the idea is that we have to make a distinction. Just see if you can see the distinction. Ready? Just see if you can see the distinction. If you can see distinction, then what is that? What we're going to read will make we'll find it easy to understand what we're reading. The distinction between a mind which cognizes emptiness versus the mind which cognizes the existence of emptiness. Right? Okay. You may not really get the feeling of, wow, yeah, that's a different, that I know. Instead, at least intellectually or in words, you see a difference. Okay, Geshe, what's the difference in words? In words, yes. Here, resent. Geshe, resent. Yeah, the mic. In words.
The first one.
What did I say?
What did you say?
Repeat what I said.
What is the difference between a mind who knows emptiness, and what is the difference with the man who realizes emptiness in a way?
Okay, so good. Anyone else? Quick. Okay, Dr. Doreen. Resent to Doreen.
Hi. Okay. The mind that sees emptiness is using the ultimate analysis. The mind that sees the existence of emptiness is using conventional analysis.
Okay, so first would you mind sharing with us what I said?
All right. What is the difference?
Yes.
Is there a difference when a person sees emptiness versus a person seeing the existence of emptiness?
Okay, 89% correct. Okay, the Pavanila, here Pavanila. Okay, yes, Brother Peck.
Geshe, you were asking what's the difference between the mind which cognizes emptiness and the mind which cognizes the existence of emptiness.
Perfect. Instead of person, it's a mind. Thank you. Pavna, do you agree? Perfect. Okay. So the mind, what is the difference between the mind which cognizes emptiness and the mind which cognizes existence of emptiness? Okay. So the say that, like the metaphor that we gave earlier, I'm afraid of mosquitoes. When somebody says, Geshe, don't be afraid, there's no tiger here. Knowledge of the absence of tiger is not the counter force to eradicate the fear in me, which is driven because of the seeing, because of the thinking. There's a presence of mosquitoes. You getting it? These two are not contradictory. These are not mutually exclusive with respect to the object apprehension. This is not directly in opposition. So likewise, we see that there are two different minds. Mind which views the existence of the emptiness. Mind which views the emptiness. These two minds, are they valid or not? Both are valid. Both are valid now, as Dr. Doran said, the mind which views the existence of emptiness. This is conventional analysis, ultimate analysis. Conventional analysis, this is not ultimate analysis. Whereas the mind which sees the emptiness, that is ultimate analysis. Very good. If you can make this distinction, then if somebody says that the emptiness does not exist, emptiness does not exist, it is that in opposition with the mind which emptiness or mind which views the existence of emptiness. Okay, Laura. Raise hand. Laura said that they can identify.
That is directly in opposition to the mind which cognizes the existence of emptiness.
How many agree with Laura and raise hands? Very good. So now, so finally, the thing is that what the opponents are saying is that intrinsic reality is non-existent. Absence of emptiness of intrinsic reality is also non-existent. You're getting it? They reject everything. The Tibetan scholars, not all, many, they reject existence of the intrinsic reality and existence of emptiness. Sorry, they reject the intrinsic reality and they also reject the emptiness of intrinsic reality. They reject both. You're getting it? They reject both, and they are trying to reject the emptiness of intrinsic reality also. Can this be rejected? Why not? Why can't we reject the emptiness of intrinsic reality? Yes.
Geshe, you cannot reject the emptiness of intrinsic reality because it exists.
The mind which views the emptiness of intrinsic reality. The mind which views the emptiness of intrinsic reality, can this be rejected or not rejected?
No.
Why not?
Because it exists.
Okay, the mind which views the intrinsic reality can be rejected or not rejected?
Not rejected.
The mind which views the intrinsic reality.
The mind or the intrinsic reality?
The mind which views the intrinsic reality can be rejected or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Mind which views the intrinsic reality, does it exist or not?
It exists.
So it can't be rejected because it exists.
The mind itself cannot be rejected, no.
Can be rejected. The mind which views intrinsic reality, can it be rejected or not?
No.
Can be rejected from the Arya's mind, Arya's being. Or in the Buddha's being.
No, cannot.
In the Buddha, the mind which views the intrinsic reality can be rejected in the Buddha's mind, in the Buddha's being. Buddha abandoned this, rejected it.
Yeah, abandoned it, yeah.
Yeah, abandoned, rejected,
Not
discarded.
Not the same.
Huh?
It's not the same.
Are you sure?
Abandoned, rejected, discarded.
I'll reject this person. Person exists. You can reject or not reject.
Reject?
I can reject your application.
Yeah, you can.
Yes. Application exists.
Yes.
Okay. So the point is that the opponents, what they are saying, that everything should be rejected. In simple terms, everything should be rejected, meaning valid mind, not valid mind, everything is to be rejected. There's nothing as a valid mind. This is the internal contradiction. Okay, now let's see. Suppose that this did mean that it is proper to use reason to refute the existence of emptiness. Existence, not just emptiness, not refute the emptiness, but refute the existence of emptiness in order to overcome the conception that the absence of intrinsic nature exists. So, say the conception which thinks the existence of the absence of intrinsic reality. What does it mean by that? A mind which views the existence of the absence of intrinsic existence. What does it mean by that? Let me repeat it. A mind which views the existence of the absence of intrinsic existence. What does it mean by that? Yes, Tenzbiala. First, listen to my question. What does it mean by the mind which views the existence of the absence of intrinsic existence?
That emptiness, which is a lack of inherent existence, is not inherently existent. That too lacks inherent existence.
Don't add too many words, it becomes more complicated.
Okay.
Make it very succinct. Tell me again. Okay, let me repeat my question. My question is, what does it mean by a mind which views the what do you say? Which views existence of the absence of intrinsic existence.
Now I'm confused. The emptiness.
This is what I'm saying. So if you add more words, you'll confuse more.
Emptiness. That emptiness.
Okay. So this is where and the okay, over there. Raise hand. Yes. Quick. Hey, gentlemen.
Morning, Geshe. So this is the mind that cognizes the existence of the emptiness of intrinsic existence. The mind that cognizes the existence of that mind which realize the emptiness of intrinsic existence.
First one is correct, second one is wrong. First one is correct, first and second, these two are different, and you think these two are same. Okay, anyone else? Okay, Gumbala, raise hand.
Good morning, everyone. The object of apprehension of this mind is the existence of the absence of the intrinsic existence.
That's perfect. You're getting it? Okay. So in simple terms, let's see. How many of you are a little confused, minimum 10%, a little confused saying the mind which views the existence of the absence, on one side the existence, one side the absence, the mind which views the existence of the absence of the intrinsic existence, the haziness is there. You think twice and then your mind becomes hazy. Reasons? Okay. How many of you would say, oh, that is easy. The mind which views the existence of emptiness. That's clear. These two are exactly the same. You're getting it? How the words can confuse you. It's actually the same. The mind which views the existence of emptiness. Very simple. The mind which views the emptiness, the existence of the emptiness of the intrinsic existence. It becomes more complicated. Actually, it's not complicated. Sometimes the philosophers, not Arjuna, other philosophers, generally, they try to deliberately make it complicated for you so that the philosophy remains with them all the time. Yeah, deliberately make it complicated. Why don't you say it, emptiness, the existence of the emptiness, full stop. It's very easy. Emptiness of the existence of the absence of the intrinsic existence. Very complicated. Okay, so let's see. That to overcome the second line of this paragraph, to overcome the conception that the absence of intrinsic nature exists, meaning existence of the absence of intrinsic, the existence of emptiness. So the mind which apprehends the existence of emptiness and the mind which apprehends the emptiness, these two are same or different? The mind which sees the mind which sees emptiness and the mind which sees the existence of emptiness, are these two one or different? These are very different. These two are very different, so the counter forces should also be different. If they're counter forces, they should be different. You're getting it? So therefore, this one, the same, to overcome the conception that the absence of intrinsic nature exists. So what should be the opposite of that? What should the counter force of this mind, which views the absence of intrinsic nature to exist? To make it simple, which views the existence of the absence of intrinsic nature. What should be the counter force of this mind? The mind? Yamala. Yes, of course. But just tell me what's the opposite of the mind? The mind which is the counter force, exact counter force. The mind which views? Okay, very good. The mind which views the emptiness or non-existence of the existence of the emptiness. You getting it? So this mind which Nirmala is saying is not the direct opposition of the mind which views emptiness. You're getting it? Okay, don't worry. Right? Don't worry. Let's read this, otherwise this paragraph, it goes for the next 10 days. Okay, people will be shocked. Okay, so it says that, suppose that this did mean that it is proper to use reason to refute. Refute is negation. Refute the existence. Refute the existence of emptiness in order to overcome the conception that the absence of intrinsic nature exists. That is fine. But you will still have to hold that you are refuting the object of some other mind which apprehends the absence of intrinsic nature as something that exists. To make it very simple, is that refuting the object of some other mind which apprehends the existence of absence of intrinsic nature. In other words, apprehends the existence of emptiness. So it's a very long sentence. Absence of intrinsic nature as something that exists, it should be like existence of emptiness. You're getting it? So this reasoning, to say that, to refute the existence. Refute is what? The mind which sees the non-existence of the existence of the emptiness should be the counter force of the mind which sees the existence of the emptiness, not the mind which sees the emptiness. You're getting it? So what you are saying is at the most is the counter force of the mind which sees the existence of the emptiness, not the mind which sees the emptiness. Okay. It would be quite wrong to refute. This mind cannot refute the object of the wisdom. What's the object of wisdom? Emptiness of intrinsic existence. This cannot be rejected by that mind. That mind at the most can reject existence of the emptiness. It cannot reject emptiness. Okay, how many of you understood this? That mind can reject the existence. At the most, it can, if at all it rejects something, it rejects the existence of emptiness. It cannot reject the emptiness. You're getting it? Likewise, it can at most reject the mind which sees the existence of the emptiness, not the mind which sees emptiness. Okay. Wisdom that realizes, okay, it would be quite wrong to refute the object. Quite wrong, saying that this reason can refute the object of the wisdom. Which wisdom? That realizes that seedling does not intrinsically exist. It means the wisdom which realizes emptiness of the seedling. It doesn't reject that. Okay, now what is your point of view? What is Lama Tsongkhapa's point of view? What is Acharya Prasanga's point of view? The next paragraph. When we refute, now it's easier. Now it's easier because the earlier Tibetan scholars, they create all problems and we have to solve it. So now don't worry, we don't have to solve it. Now the next part. Next part is your point of view. When we refute the essential or intrinsic nature of a seedling, when we refute the intrinsic nature of the seedling, okay, what is the feeling inside? Is ease or confusion? Ease, you're getting it? Oh, this is your point. Okay, when we refute the intrinsic nature of the seedling, we have definite knowledge. Definite knowledge meaning a correct knowledge or correct wisdom. The wisdom. We have the wisdom that the seedling does not intrinsically exist. Is it easy? Yes, there's ease there. Okay. The seedling doesn't exist intrinsically. Yes, that's easy. Then even if some other awareness apprehends that absence of intrinsic nature as existing, even if some other awareness, other mind apprehends that absence of intrinsic nature as existing, meaning existence of the emptiness. You getting it? Existence of the emptiness and the emptiness is different. Existing as existing, reason does not refute the object of that other mind, meaning that then even if some other awareness apprehends that absence of intrinsic nature as existing, reason does not refute the object of the other mind, which views the existence of the emptiness. However, if that mind holds that emptiness exists essentially, only if you say that the mind holds the emptiness to exist intrinsically, then reason does refute that. The reason of the emptiness can refute that, to see that if you view the emptiness as intrinsically real, if you view the emptiness viewing emptiness intrinsically real, is it self-grasping or not? Viewing emptiness intrinsically real, is it self-grasping or not? Are you sure? Is it not viewing emptiness? It's because the object is emptiness. Viewing the emptiness intrinsic real, this self-grasping. So therefore, those reasonings can reject only if we say that the emptiness exists intrinsically. Then the reason to reject intrinsic existence can reject this. Otherwise, just to say that the emptiness, things are empty of intrinsic reality, that cannot be rejected by any other mind. Whereas if I say that emptiness exists intrinsically, then people can reject me. Then reason does refute that. Okay, now this next part requires, it's not complicated, but it requires a little bit of translation edition. Okay, Quan. So here it says, look, the line before that says, however, if that mind holds that emptiness exists essentially, the question raised is, where do you find such a mind which views the emptiness as intrinsically real? Where do you find, who holds emptiness as intrinsically real? Anyone? This question, Kwam, how could someone develop an apprehension that the absence of intrinsic nature intrinsically exists? Meaning, how can someone apprehend emptiness to exist intrinsically? You getting it? Where is that mind? Who does that? Who views the emptiness to exist intrinsically? This question. It says that how could someone develop an apprehension that the absence of intrinsic nature intrinsically exists? Okay, this is a question. So the question raises that, for example, let's say the flower is empty of intrinsic reality. Okay, steps. First, the flower. The flower exists. The flower is empty of intrinsic. The first is flower. Second is it is empty of intrinsic reality. Number 2. How many got it? Raise hands. Okay, what about those who do not raise hand? You give up? If you give up, I'm not responsible. Right? Okay, you're looking forward to this text. Now the text is here. Okay, so my question is first, okay, don't give up. Listen to me. The flower, how many understand the sense? Good, number one, flower. Now number two, flower is empty of intrinsic reality. Number two, that's okay. It's good that I don't give up. Number two, it is empty of intrinsic reality. Number three, that intrinsic emptiness of intrinsic reality exists intrinsically. You're getting it? What is number one? Flower. What is number two? Empty of intrinsic reality. That the flower is empty of intrinsic reality. What is three? Intrinsic reality, meaning emptiness of intrinsic reality of the flower is intrinsically real. You're getting it? How does it happen? You're getting it? How does it happen? This is a question raised by the questioner, Kwan. Kwan, how could someone develop apprehension that the absence of intrinsic nature, emptiness of intrinsic nature, intrinsically exists? How does it happen? Okay, reply. In perceiving the seedling's lack of intrinsic nature, meaning the flower's lack of intrinsic nature, or emptiness of the flower, you do not establish this lack. What is this lack? Lack of intrinsic nature as lack of intrinsic nature of the seedling. Lack of intrinsic nature of the seedling. You do not establish this lack as the seedling's intrinsic nature. So, say this lack as the seedling's intrinsic nature. Seedling's intrinsic nature. Meaning, you are now adding intrinsic nature to the seedling. So it says what? You do not establish. You're getting it? You do not establish. Don't think that this intrinsic nature is, don't attach this intrinsic nature with this seedling. You're getting it? Intrinsic nature is attached to the, okay, this mind is erroneous or not erroneous? The mind which views that the emptiness of the flower to exist intrinsically. You getting it? Okay, look at my finger, this will work. Without this, your mind may not, it may hang. So this will be easier. So sometimes visual is easier. Okay, same, the mind which sees the emptiness of the flower as intrinsically real. So this overall mind, this mind apprehends intrinsic nature or not? It does apprehend intrinsic nature of what? It attaches intrinsic nature to the emptiness or intrinsic nature of the flower. So this mind does not attach the intrinsic nature with the seedling. It attaches the intrinsic nature with the emptiness of that seedling. Emptiness, not the seedling. You getting it? So if it attaches with the seedling, this is a contradiction. Because you say seedling is empty of intrinsic nature. Already you discard the intrinsic nature. Now you attach the intrinsic nature to the seedling. This is a contradiction. It never happens. You got it? Okay, 50% above resents, or 30% above resents, or 10% above resents. And some people, who cares? Whatever you may say, who cares? Okay, then I regret coming here. Now I really envy those people who sign up for the retreat and not coming to the retreat, just waiting for the audience. I regret, I regret coming. There must be some people who sign for the retreat and waiting for the audience, not coming to the retreat. Manda, is there anybody? We never know. They don't declare. Okay. Now comes Professor Roger Jackson to take note here. There's the translation modification required. Okay, so here reply. Now you understood it? Anybody who can just tell me what you understood, reasons? Okay, there. Yes. Aruna, recent? Yes.
So we have three: the flower, the emptiness of the flower, and emptiness of the flower is existing intrinsically.
Yes.
Yeah. And if, for example, you thought that emptiness of the flower exists intrinsically, and at the same time, this mind asserts that the flower does not exist intrinsically, there is contradiction.
What is contradiction?
Because at the same time, this mind asserts two contradictory things, like flower exists. The second one, the second step, the emptiness, the emptiness of the flower. Yeah.
Okay.
No intrinsic existence.
Yes.
And at the same time, the flower exists intrinsically. This is a contradiction.
Okay, you're getting somewhere. I think you got the gist. Anyone else? Okay, anyone else? Tushar? Tushar, resent? Yes. If possible, in the group discussion, you can discuss like this, particularly the seniors, you're trying to, and try to explain like this and see that you get it. Once you get it, then you can go with the follow-up questions. Yes, Tushar.
There are three parts. Mind cognizing the flower. Second part is mind cognizing the existence of emptiness of intrinsic existence of the flower. And the third part is the mind cognizing the intrinsic existence of the emptiness of intrinsic existence of the flower.
So? Okay, so basically it's not three minds.
Yeah.
Say one mind seeing the intrinsic existence of the emptiness of the intrinsic existence of the flower.
Yes.
This mind, then I break its object into three. I break its object apprehension into three to make things easy. So what are three things? Number one is flower, as Aruna said. Number two is emptiness, intrinsic nature of the flower. Number three is intrinsic
existence.
Intrinsic existence of the emptiness of the intrinsic existence of the flower. Three. Flower, emptiness, and intrinsic nature. So you just keep piling up. Intrinsic existence of the emptiness of the flower, to make it very easy, to avoid the words, to make the economic words. Intrinsic existence of the emptiness of the flower. You getting it? Okay. Now when you say intrinsic existence, so this intrinsic existence is attached with the flower or with the emptiness of the flower? With the emptiness of the flower, not with the flower. So this intrinsicality, intrinsic existence meaning intrinsicality. Intrinsicality is attached with the emptiness of flower, whereas if it's attached to the flower, then it is contradictory. If it is attached with the flower, how is it contradictory? Raise hands. Omala? Here. Hey. You want to ask? You want to ask or what? Okay, ask the same question. Okay, yes. Anyone else? Okay, yes. Then some sound like raise hand.
Geshe, if the flower was both empty of intrinsic reality and the quality of the existing intrinsically was with the flower, the contradiction would be that the flower would both be empty of intrinsic reality and exist intrinsically.
Perfect, very good. How many agree with Samsala? Okay, it's too early that I said very good. Okay, so it's not because it's wrong for the people to blindly raise hand. Okay, so this is perfectly correct. Thank you. So now the Professor Roger Jackson, Now let's see. We read this and you see if there is something wrong here, something erroneous here. Let me read the reply. In perceiving the seedling's lack of intrinsic nature, okay, now what is that? Emptiness of the seedling. You getting it? You do not establish this lack. Establish this lack. With this lack, emptiness of intrinsic reality, as the seedling's intrinsic nature. This lack as a seedling's intrinsic. If a seedling's intrinsic nature, then the seedling should exist intrinsically. You getting it? Okay. Nature. Still, you might develop the idea that the absence of intrinsic nature is the intrinsic nature. Absence of intrinsic nature. Absence of intrinsic nature is the intrinsic nature. Is the intrinsic quality of that seedling. You see something wrong or not? If that is the intrinsic quality of the seedling, then seedling is seen as intrinsic. So on the one hand, you say emptiness is the seedling. So therefore, in the Tibetan, I was confused here in the English. I checked the Tibetan. It should be that, okay, Professor Roger. Still, you might develop the idea that the absence of intrinsic nature is the intrinsic nature of that absence of the intrinsic seedling. So that is missing. Of that, not of that seedling, of that absence of the intrinsic. There should be seen as the intrinsic nature of the emptiness of seedling, not the seedling. You getting it? How many understood it? That lack of intrinsicality should be seen as the intrinsic nature of that emptiness is seen as the intrinsic nature of the emptiness, not the intrinsic nature of the flower, not the intrinsic nature of the seedling. So here is nature of that absence of intrinsic seedling. Nature, just add this absence of intrinsic seedling. Let me repeat it, that still you might develop the idea that the absence of intrinsic nature, absence of intrinsic emptiness, is the intrinsic nature of that emptiness of the seedling, not the seedling. You got it? Okay. First, let me ask you, how many of you understood this? Say, the seedling is the mind which views the intrinsic existence of the emptiness of the seedling. You getting it? The mind which views the intrinsic existence of the emptiness of the seedling. So here, this mind is self-grasping ignorance or not? Is self-grasping ignorance. So, which means it grasps its intrinsic existence. So, does it attach the intrinsic existence with the seedling or with the emptiness of the seedling? So, this intrinsicality is to be attached with the emptiness of seedling, not with the seedling. If you attach with the seedling, you already said that emptiness of seedling. Seedling's intrinsic existence is already rejected. So there's a contradiction in the air. So this, what in the Tibetan, you see that this missing. Nature of that absence of intrinsic seedling. Okay, good. Now let me continue. For example, okay, now this example will make you a little easier. For example, in the absence of a pot, you would not develop the idea where there's no pot. For example, on my table, there's no pot. Absence of pot. You would not develop the idea. The truth is that, truth meaning intrinsic, is an intrinsic nature, intrinsic. The truth is that there's a pot. There's no pot there. There's no pot there, and you will not get the thought, oh, there's a pot which is truly existent. Will it come or not? Laura, no? Yes.
If there's no pot there, there's no reason for you to think about a pot.
Pot being truly there.
Let alone it being truly, let alone the pot being truly there. If there's no pot to look at.
Okay, don't add too much. Don't make it very too simple. Let me say there's no pot on my table, and I say that the pot there, the pot exists. The existence of the pot, the pot exists on the table. Truly is truly real. Is it correct or not correct?
Not correct.
Not correct. Very good. But when in the absence of the pot, you can say that no, the absence of the pot is truly there. That's possible.
That's possible, yeah.
That's possible. Is a missing mind. But if you say there's no pot, then still there's a pot, which is the pot exists, is truly real. That is insane, crazy. You agree?
Yes.
Yes. So whereas if there's no pot and you say that the absence of pot is real, that may not be crazy, but it's erroneous.
That's
good. Okay. Yeah. So this is how Lama was saying that the pot is there, so the absence of the pot is real. This thought will not come. In the absence of the pot, in the absence of pot, that the pot exists is real. It will not come. Whereas absence of pot, that absence of pot is real. That can happen. So likewise, so the absence, the real should be attached to the absence, not to the pot. Likewise, the intrinsic identity should be attached to the emptiness, not to the basis of the emptiness. Okay. For example, in the absence of a pot, you would not develop the idea that truth is that there's a pot, or the better would be that the pot is there is real, is truth. Because there's language ambiguity there. Language ambiguity, for example, hey, let's say that, okay, in my hand, that the truth is, and there's a flower in my hand. Is it correct statement or not? The truth is, there's a flower in my hand. Huh? Okay, so the truth is the flower in my hand. Or the truth is non-flower in my hand. Right? So what is the truth? Is it flower or non-flower? Huh? Truth cannot be both. It cannot be flower as well as non-flower. It cannot be. Either it should be boy or it should be non-boy. You get a flower, could be either boy or non-boy. What is it? Flower is a boy or non-boy? Hey. Flower should be non-boy. You get a flower is not a boy. So one thing cannot be the two opposites. So I have hands, I have non-hands. You agree? I have hands or not? Yes. I have hands, I have hands, and I have also non-hands. But I am not hand, and I am hand, and I'm not hand both. It's not possible. You agree? Then sometimes you agree? Good. So therefore, the truth is flower's existence, and truth is non-flower's existence. This is opposite. So this language ambiguity, but in English is fine, there's nothing wrong. But it's a language ambiguity there. Logically speaking, it's very inconsistent. Okay, don't worry. Okay, next paragraph. Accordingly, since there's nothing at all that is not empty of intrinsic existence. Okay, now this line, does it give you ease? Accordingly, since there is nothing at all that is not empty of intrinsic existence, does it give you ease? Yes, it does. Okay, ease. It's perfectly reasonable to say that even the emptiness, which is seedlings lack of intrinsic nature, which means even emptiness lacks essential existence, lacks true existence. You agree? So since there's nothing existing intrinsically, emptiness is no exception. You agree? Very good. That gives you ease. Good. Okay. Accordingly, since there's nothing at all that is not empty of intrinsic existence, it is perfectly reasonable to say that even the emptiness, which is the seedlings lack of intrinsic nature, lacks essential existence or intrinsic existence. Acharya Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 stanzas speaks of refuting essential existence of emptiness. If that which is called emptiness did have some, okay, be careful. This is particular for, I would say, this group. You are from a very technical study program. So all these technicalities I'm sharing with you. For the other regular retreats, I may not go into all these details. Say, Acharya Chandrakirti's texts are a Nagarjuna text, and sometimes the Buddha's own teachings. So when you read it, don't be too keen. Don't be too keen, or don't take things so literally. You're getting it? Because there are so many layers of understanding. And these layers of understanding, perhaps one major factor would be language difference. Sanskrit and Tibetan language difference. They could be a major reason, because when we read the Tibetan, what do you call it? Scriptures composed by Tibetan authors, we read it here inside, I could feel the ease, like a music. Like a music. Reading the Indian sources, which are all translations. Indian sources, it is like I'm jumping from the one rock to another rock to another rock. There's no smooth flow of the air. And I was just wondering why that is the case. Why? So therefore, say when there's commentary on the Indian text, commentary on an Indian text, and then I could easily figure out whether the author is Tibetan or Indian. Not because the Indian style is bad, because I'm reading in the Tibetan language. My language is Tibetan. So then I learn from somebody who has some exposure to Sanskrit. So the same text translated into Tibetan, if that is read in Sanskrit, somebody who knows Sanskrit reads it, it reads so smoothly. So when translating, the demerit is that the contents are translated, but the language to translate that, instantly it is disrupted. And the others. But don't worry, you can still become enlightened by relying on the translations. Because some people, they worry. Oh, so many things are missing. Then we don't know Tibetan. You're getting it? So then the same thing applies to Tibetan also. But Tibetan is also translation of Sanskrit. It's not the original Sanskrit. But the Tibetan good thing is that the language, there must be a gap there. But the subject matter, the Tibetan translation is too loyal to the original Sanskrit. Sanskritists, they said that if the Sanskrit is lost, there's no danger. The Tibetan sources, from there we can reconstruct into Sanskrit, retranslate back into Sanskrit, you can get minimum 93% accuracy. This is amazing, because this is how the Tibetan translators, they're so loyal. So this is thing. And one time there's the Western scholar, very, very good scholar, I truly respect the scholar, and he has been into that. He just studied with the Tibetan master for many years, and I was 20 or 21, and reading his book, very complicated philosophy on emptiness. I read it. It's so like I'm reading Tibetan. There's so much ease in me. Then I was always recommending the people to read, native speakers. What books to read? They come to me. I said, read this book. They read it. They say, no, it's so difficult to understand. So because for me, the translator is so loyal to Tibetan that for a Tibetan reader, it's very easy. It's like reading Tibetan. Okay, this is language, don't worry. Some people, they worry. Okay, no, in English we are not getting full. No, you're getting full, don't worry. But whether it's Tibetan or whether it's English, you cannot get it until you systematically study it with the living tradition. Without studying it through a living tradition, being in English, being in Tibetan, you would not get anything. This is for sure. Okay. So it says that if that which is called emptiness, I'm reading from Acharya Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 stanzas, it speaks of refuting the essential existence of emptiness, refuting the intrinsic existence or essential existence of emptiness. This translator used the word essential, for which I would use intrinsic more. So let's say essential existence of emptiness. if that which is called emptiness did have some essential existence, if emptiness exists, they did have some essential intrinsic existence, then things would have intrinsic nature. You agree? If emptiness exists intrinsically, then the things, why not? Things can exist intrinsically. However, it does not. Emptiness does not have intrinsic existence. In order to indicate this, Bodhisattva Arideva's 400 stanzas says, as there's nothing that is not empty, which means everything is empty, from what can emptiness arise? So from the empty, there's nothing to arise. As there's nothing to oppose, meaning as there's nothing to be abandoned. As there's nothing to be abandoned or to oppose. For example, like as there's no the afflictive obscurations, so there's no remedy. If there's no afflictive obscurations, there's no remedy. As there's nothing to oppose meaning nothing to abandon, how can there be a remedy? Okay, so what does it mean by that? As there's nothing to oppose, nothing to abandon. There are so many things to abandon. We are so rich in afflictive obscurations. We are so rich in things to be abandoned, to oppose. Why Bodhisattva Arideva is saying that there's nothing to abandon, nothing to oppose? Why? Lorela? Nothing intrinsic. Okay, nothing intrinsic opposed. What made you confident to say that this should be attached? Why? Anyone else? Anyone else? So, Anna? Yes, Mike.
I guess from the ultimate analysis, once you've attained the realization of emptiness, of intrinsicality.
Why you are attached to the ultimate analysis? Why? Okay, have confidence. You're getting it. Have confidence. Okay. Anyone else? No one. Okay, Ben Dizingsala. Hey, young man, here. He's very busy with the camera and the mic both.
Geshe, because in the first two lines, Charachandakiti is talking about the emptiness. So this is the context in this. So when he says there's nothing to oppose, this is the context.
The context is emptiness. What makes you think that the context is emptiness?
Because in the first two lines, it says there's nothing that is not empty for what emptiness can arise. So he's setting the context. No?
So even that question, that nothing that's not empty, what makes you think that this empty means intrinsic emptiness? Why? Okay, these are serious questions. Serious questions. So people may think that, oh, this is Lama Tsongkhapa's own interpretation. You know, this oftentimes what's happening is a great, great poison. Say this is so precious way of interpretation, and somebody outright rejects it, which means that you are not going in this direction, and then you fall in the darkness. Yes, Mike.
Geshe, because if it was not intrinsic, then it would establish intrinsic existence. Because the first sentence says that there is nothing that is not empty.
So what is this empty? Intrinsic empty is what it's saying?
So if it is not nothing that is not intrinsically empty.
So why did you add this word intrinsic? What made you think? Who gave you the permission? Okay, Jia. What you did is just perfect. I'm deliberately provoking to check your confidence.
So if we didn't add the qualifying phrase intrinsic, then everything will be empty. Then we'll fall into nihilism.
So what's wrong?
So
maybe the author must be falling into nihilism?
But that is not the intent of the author.
How do you know that? Okay, Yenla.
Because in Ayadeva, Ayadeva 400 stanza ceases from prasangika view, so they actually distinguish between intrinsic existence with existence.
Okay, so basically what Yana is saying, what all said is correct. I'm just checking the confidence, and people can keep provoking you till you touch the ground. So the Yana is saying that Bodhisattva Adideva's text is from the point of view of the Prasangika one, and number two, that this teaching is given to free us from the painful tears of samsara. And the painful tears of samsara, they come from self-grasping ignorance. Self-grasping ignorance believes in things as objectively real. So objectively real, intrinsic reality is to be rejected. So to counter that, these texts is taught. So the opposite, say what the Bodhisattva Adideva was teaching is to counteract the belief in intrinsic reality. You getting it? So as such, what it says empty means empty of what you believe. You believe in things as intrinsic real. So therefore intrinsically empty. Very good. Okay. So from this we say that as there's nothing to oppose, how can there be a remedy? If there's nothing to be abandoned intrinsically, what remedy can there be intrinsically? Okay. Now you may see this very dry information. Some of us may see this a little dry information. Of course, when you get these deeper studies, more extensive studies, and the meditation, then you will see that these are very profound. But for us, let us put it like this. Let's say that the okay, is there a difference between the gender? Is there a difference? Gender difference is there? And not discrimination. I'm not using that. Okay, I'm just talking about gender difference. In reality, gender difference is there. And age difference is there. These are realities. Okay. Now, as we discussed earlier, the age and gender is purely bodily, physical. And the physical is nothing but made of cells. Our body is made of cells. Cells are made of chromosomes, DNA molecules, and atoms. You agree? So it's just a very gross appearance of the world. Go deeper, more closely, you see the pool of atoms. On the atomic level, where is gender? Where is the age? Tell me. Tell me. Where's gender? On the atomic level? No difference. Age, no difference. And somebody told me that now we've got a good answer. Somebody asked old people like me, how old are you? You said, I'm same age as you. We are all 15 billion years old. You're getting it? This is the answer coming from my sister Christine. Okay, so where's the age difference? This is, if you think about it, and if it gives you a little bit of uneasiness in you, uneasiness insists that this is true. This concept of the age difference, gender difference, these are all, that's not there, but undeniably it is there. Looking from conventional analysis, undeniably it exists, but you go there, it's purely physical, on the physical, what really is there are the atoms. If there's something real, is the atoms on the atomic level, these don't make any sense. And feeling a little bit of fear, uneasiness, some way the confusion comes, this is good indication. Don't be scared. This is a very good indication. Even if this potential fear comes, very good indication that this fear, in the uneasiness is because of a clash between the discovery that you're making with the chronic disease which believes in intrinsic reality. There's a clash happening. You're getting it? This clash manifests in the form of the uneasiness and the fear. It's so precious. So on that level, there's nothing to oppose. Nothing as a remedy. For example, let's say, how many of you use knives to cut the bread in your life? How many of you use, some people, they never use, they also always buy the ready-made cut bread. They even don't know how to use the knife. Okay, how many use use knife to cut bread or apples or whatever? Raise hands. Good. Just think of that. Now on the atomic level, cut means purely physical. Physical means it's made of atoms. On the atomic level, say there is a pool of atoms we call as, from distance, this as knife. It's nothing but a pool of atoms. An atom cannot be cut. You agree? Right? If there is something which can cut the atoms, then this energy explosion happens. Fusion, fission, all this happens. You're cutting the bread, fusion, fission doesn't happen. But we say it still cuts. It still cuts. What is cutting? Is actually there's no cutting. Because what cuts is a pool of atoms. What is cut is also a pool of atoms. So why pool of atoms should cut another pool of atoms? Why? And say, I take shower. It's just a pool of atoms. What is washed away is a pool of atoms. Which is clean? One washed away atom is dirty. One washes is clean. Both the electrons, protons, same. Not one is clean, one is dirty. There's nothing there. There's nothing to be abandoned. There's nothing as a remedy. This is just the same on that level. When do they make sense? Only on the surface gross level. You see this is dirty, this is clean, this is water, clean water to wash away. All this makes sense on the gross level. On the subtle level, this concept simply dissolves. So that is where the fabric of emptiness, this is ultimate reality. Failing to see this, then our minds project the movie of gender, the movie of age, movie of cutting the bread. What is cutting the bread? Pool of atoms says that His Holiness comes in the crowd, then security guys will separate the crowd. This is exactly what happened with the knife and the bread. The knife, the atoms, they push the other atoms. Push the atoms. This is what we, in the gross eyes, we see as cutting. And something from some other atoms, they come out in the form of blood. You're getting it? Some atoms are separated. And then some other atoms, and we see as, it's cut, now the blood is coming out, this is a knife which cuts. This is all on the very gross, like a movie projected by your mind. On the ultimate level, on the real level, objective level, there's nothing to be cut. What cuts, what is cut, this is all like illusion. Okay. Let me stop here. Tavge tuje shayeri so chon shenge meto dege bonjomba serge numbo tabu jebe go shaye mo kela cha no mone mahamona yeswa Mahamona Yeswa Mone Mahamona Yeswa Mahamona Yeswa Mahamona Yeswa Mahamona Yeswa. Three persistence together.